Time to face your fears.
Okay, here we go. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to be bitten by the toe biter on my big toe. 1, 2, 3. Ah! I got it! It's a big turtle!
Every time I leap from a kayak, find myself submerged beneath the swampy surface, I am absolutely terrified. Not because I'm afraid of the giant reptilian predator that I've likely grabbed a hold of. No. Snapping turtles don't scare me at all. What scares me is the alien-looking creature that may be hiding in the tangles of pond plants that is infamously known as the toe biter.
You guys know what that is, right? That's my old arch nemesis, the toe biter.
Scientifically, they are known as the giant water bug, a nightmarish creature that we have briefly featured in the past, one of the animals that I have continuously expressed an honest fear of.
Nobody in their right mind would do this. I get bitten by an alligator any day as compared to being stung by this thing.
With their alien-like appearance, grappling hook-like arms, and massive rostrum that can inflict an incredibly painful bite, trust me when I say, this is not something you want to bump into when mucking around in the swamps. Yet leave it up to the Coyote Pack to request over and over again that I show the world just how painful that bite really is, and in turn, how to treat that bite if you are ever so unfortunate to take one. These water-dwelling insects can be found worldwide, and with just my luck, they happen to be very common in Costa Rica. So the crew and I headed out into the darkness of night when they are actively hunting to see if we could find one. A big one that, sure enough, would certainly give me a bite to remember.
All right, I am looking for a giant water bug, also known as a toe biter, and I'm pretty sure I saw one right on the other side of that log. So right on the other side of those plants there. What I'm gonna try to do is actually go out on this log. You see this fallen log? That should get me right into perfect position. I don't want to disturb the environment. I'm gonna use this net to try to scoop it up. Wow, it's big. Hold on, I'm coming right towards you. Woo. Hold on, I'm losing my balance. There it is. Oh, it's getting out of the net. Get in there, get in there, get in there. That is a monster water bug. Look at the size of that thing. My goodness. Hold on, let me get it out of the net. You guys got lights? Lights?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that creature. An alien from another planet. My hand is shaking. This giant water bug, also known as the toe biter. I'm not doing the scene in the dark, guys. We're waiting until tomorrow morning. And yes, I'm going to let my big toe be bitten by the toe biter. Oh, look at that. My goodness, it's a beast. They can fly, they can swim, and their bite is one of the most painful in the insect kingdom. Not a sting, guys, it is a bite. All right, I'm putting it in the container. You ready? Just keep the lid on it. Trust me, you don't want this one getting into your boot.
Warning, the bite from a giant water bug is non-lethal. However, it is excruciatingly painful. Never attempt to recreate the following scene.
There it is. The little shop of horrors itself. The giant water bug. Also known as a toe biter. Now let me tell you guys a little story about when Coyote Peterson was 8 years old. I was out in the swamps searching for snapping turtles, wearing nothing other than shorts and a t-shirt. Wading through, hoping to come across a giant reptile, when all of a sudden I felt a piercing pain in my thigh. I immediately screamed, reached my hand up my shorts, and what do I pull out? A giant water bug.
I had never seen one of these creatures before. I immediately started crying, not only from the pain, but because I was absolutely terrified at the sight of this thing. I hobbled myself back to shore, got myself home, told my mom what happened, and we looked it up in a field guide. She called the doctor, and lo and behold, they assured me I would be okay. It is not going to kill you. All I needed to do was put ice on the bite and relax for about an hour and a half, and finally the pain ended up going away. And ever since that day, this is the one insect that I've truly been afraid of. Now, before we get to the bite, let's take a look at this insect's anatomy. Now, this is a true bug. It may look like a beetle or a cockroach, but it is in fact its own variety. There are around 60 species of water bugs worldwide, and in the United States, there are 20. Now, this one here, the giant water bug, is very common here in Central and South America, and this is about maximum size. The largest they get is around 4 inches in length, and I would say that one is about 3.5 inches, an absolute monster. Now, it's interesting, you can see it kind of skittering around inside the container here as soon as I move it, but you see that position that it's putting itself in, where it's sticking its rear up through the water? Look at that little snorkel-looking device there. That is actually how it's breathing. They breathe from their back ends.
It breathes out its butt.
Yeah, it's like a little butt snorkel, right? So it's keeping itself positioned like that, and this is also the same position in which they hunt. I'll tell you what's most intimidating about this creature are those front arms. Let me turn it just a little bit like that. Now, like all insects, they have 6 legs, and these front 2 are modified with those hooks on the front. They use those to latch onto and grapple in their food.
Oh, am I seeing the snorkel go in and out?
Yep, the snorkel does. It goes in and out. You can see it's kind of thrust its abdomen up into the air there. That's allowing it to breathe so it can just float like a dead leaf, just like that, all day long, waiting for, let's say, tadpoles need to come to the surface to breathe. Frogs need to come to the surface. A fish could just swim by, and if it swims right up towards that face, what they will do is reach out with those forearms, and they have 2 hooks right on the end. They'll grapple on and pull it towards their face. Right on the face there is what's called a rostrum, which is like a little hooked beak. Now, it is inside of a sheath, so as soon as they catch something, it comes out of that sheath and it injects an incredibly potent saliva. Now, the enzymes in that saliva will actually paralyze the victim, and then kind of they're stuck in place. So imagine that you're a tadpole, and then as that saliva works its way into the system, it actually breaks apart the victim's insides, and then they drink it up just like a milkshake. How horrific is that?
Is that what it's going to do to your toe?
Well, it's not going to do that to my toe because I'm not going to let it hold on that long, but what it is going to do is latch on and then whoosh, whap me with that rostrum, and just a little bit of that saliva getting into my system is going to be unbelievably painful. This will probably be worse than any of the insect stings I've taken. Remember, guys, this is not a sting, this is a bite. Very different.
So is it venom?
It's not technically venom, but it works like venom in that the enzymes and peptides in the saliva are modified and break down the insides of the victim. And maybe ask yourself, well, something like this, does it have any predators? Well, certainly a bird could eat it, a large snapping turtle could eat it, but they are incredibly camouflaged. Let me turn it like this. Take a look at its back there. It looks just like a leaf. Here, I will just pick this leaf up off the ground, hold that next to the container. Now, if you were mucking around in a little pond like we have here behind us where we caught it, and you just saw it sitting there, just like that, completely still floating, you would have no idea that that was an insect and not a leaf. Pretty incredible, huh? Another name for this insect is the electric light bug. That's because in places especially like Florida, where you have those large halogen lamps, they will be drawn in by the hundreds. And oftentimes people just think that they're flying roaches. If you go near one and you pick it up, you stand the chance of being bitten. So if you see a bunch of bugs fluttering around a light and they're about the size of a leaf, just admire them from a safe distance, guys, because it's a bite that you're never going to forget.
So to be clear, not just in the water, these things fly.
Yes, not just terrors beneath the surface, but also terrors in the air.
Hey, didn't we find one in the parking lot once in Florida?
We did, yeah, it was actually inside of my boot, believe it or not. Yeah, I think I actually took a photo of it and posted it on Instagram. Yeah, now what's interesting is that this is a male. You know how I know that? The males carry eggs on their backs, and I can see that this one has a few eggs still hanging onto it. And this is one of those rare species that you have the male taking care of the young, making sure that they are protected until they can form into larvae and then swim off on their own.
They're quite strong, right? They're like little Popeye arms.
They are super strong. Actually, you want me to take it out of the little container here so you guys can get some better shots. gently reach right down in there and pick it up. You ready?
Ooh, delicate little maneuver here.
I'm gonna set it down on the table and pick it up right from his back. See how they scurry like that? Oh, it's unbelievably powerful. Let me turn it like that for you. Look at the underside. Actually, you know what? Let me grab that leaf again, because now we can see it better that it's out of the water. Ooh, it's so strong. So look at the underside as compared to a leaf. Underside of the leaf, underside of the water bug. Almost identical, right?
Really hard to spot in the water.
Yeah. And look at the eyes. If you tilt it forward a little bit, they actually have really good eyesight. And those eyes reflect red if you shine a flashlight into the water. That's how you can identify one of these insects. Oh, it's trying to get me. It's so angry right now. And you can see on the back here, it has a joint that allows it to move its head forward and backward. That's how they can drive that rostrum into their prey.
You know, they do say there's a fine line between bravery and stupidity. Where does this fall?
This falls into the complete realm of insanity, I would say. I still remember the day that I was bitten by one. I mean, it's incredibly painful. I mean, you guys are gonna see me in unbelievable agony here relatively soon. I've climbed the insect sting pain index, and when it comes to facing my fears of the two creepiest crawlies in the bug world, bugs as a generalization, the giant water bug and the giant desert centipede are the two things that just absolutely make my skin crawl.
So in a way, this is not only going to be educational and enlightening for all of us watching, but for yourself. This is a way to move past any of those fears left over from your childhood.
Yeah, this is, for me, a true moment of insane bravery. Insane bravery.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh, my poor toe.
Give it one more look.
Oh man, this is craziness. Absolute craziness. Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I can go through this.
You could just like accidentally drop it and it could scurry back off in the water.
Yeah, maybe I throw it up in the air and it flies away.
Yeah.
GoPro rolling. Water bug out of the container without being bitten. Got it. Oh, it is so strong.
Good grip?
Good grip, good grip.
Okay. Time to face your fears.
Are we ready?
You're ready.
Okay, here we go. I'm Coyote Peterson. I'm about to be bitten by the toe biter on my big toe. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Ah! Hold on! Get back in the container! Ah! Ah! Oh, this is just as bad as I remembered. Oh, that is worse than a sting.
Dude, you are bleeding.
I hope you guys got that shot.
You got it. I think you got it too, man. Your toe is messed up.
This, guys, is worse than a sting. Let me put my foot up here on the table. Oh, sorry, guys. I knocked the whole thing of water over. It almost got away.
Here, I got it. It's okay.
Okay, look at my toe. Now the rostrum went deep enough in
right at the tip there to draw blood. And I also was just squeezing it as much as I could, trying to get the saliva out. And there wasn't a lot of saliva that went in, but man, did it just scream in pain immediately. Oh, my foot is throbbing. This is like dropping a brick on your toe. I can't move my toe. Wow. Oh gosh, that really hurts. That's really bad. That's really bad. Ow.
It still hurt?
Oh man, it walloped me. I could feel that rostrum go whoosh into my toe, deep enough to draw blood.
Wow.
A lot thicker and engage than like the stinger of a bull ant or wasp. Man. Oh, hold on, let me walk around for a second. Oh man, my toe's throbbing. Oh, jeez, man. Man, it still hurts, but not as much as the initial impact.
Do you think you got a full bite?
Yeah, I mean, it went in deep enough to pierce skin. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm trying to stay composed here. Oh, my foot is throbbing. Oh man, my foot is starting to itch. That is definitely one way to face your fears. And the giant water bug has terrified my dreams since I was a little kid. I spent a lot of time out in the swamps catching snapping turtles, and every time I jump in, I wonder, is this the next time that I'm gonna be bitten by the toe biter? Man, that was just as bad as I remembered. I'm sweating bullets right now. My foot is throbbing. I think we're gonna need to perform a little first aid on my toe. I gotta make sure this is cleaned out. Obviously, I got mud stuff all over myself at this point, but if you guys come across a giant water bug in the wild, don't try to pick it up. The bite is bad. If you're bitten on your toe, maybe the bite is worse than anywhere else. I don't know. It is extremely painful. It is really bad. It is worse than any sting I think that I've taken.
It's a different kind of pain?
It's a different kind of pain. Yeah, it's like, man, I don't think a lot of the saliva got into my toe, but it is throbbing right now. It just feels like I want to take a rubber band and cut off the circulation of my toe so I stop feeling it. Okay, I'm gonna try to give you an outro here. All right, guys, well, part one of facing my fears, being bitten by the giant water bug, also known as the toe biter, has officially happened. Next up, I'm going to be bitten by the giant desert centipede, which is rumored to have the most painful bite in the creepy crawler kingdom. I don't know how I'm gonna possibly go through with what that is, but stay tuned, guys. There is one bite left to come. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. Oh man, this is really bad.
Don't worry, I've got that first aid kit.
Since childhood, I have feared the giant water bug and its infamous bite. And I know you were wondering, was it truly as bad as I remembered? Yes. Yes, it was. And there's absolutely no chance I will ever be intentionally bitten by one of these alien-looking insects ever again. When it comes to bites and stings, it's important to note that there is a very big difference between the two. And oftentimes it is the bites, especially the venomous ones, that hurt the worst. In the case of the giant water bug, not only is the puncture from the rostrum powerful enough to draw blood, but the digestive enzymes that also enter the wound literally feel as if they are melting your cells. If you're an avid wetlands explorer and want to avoid being bitten by a giant water bug, simply remember this advice. Always wear long, durable pants when wading in the water, and whatever you do, make sure that a good pair of boots protects your feet. This way your toes will never experience the painful bite of a toe biter. If you thought taking a bite from the giant water bug looked painful, make sure to go back and watch the episode where I was chomped by a snapping turtle. Yeah, that one hurt. And don't forget, subscribe so you can join me and the crew on this season of Breaking Trail.